Yeah, good afternoon to all. Welcome to the session 2. So now I'm going to give brief introduction about today's resource person. So Dr. Piyush Kumar Pareek is currently the professor and head of the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, as well as the Intellectual Property Rights Cell at Meenakshi Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. With a strong commitment to lifelong learning and teaching, he has completed his BE, MTech, PhD and postdoctoral research in computer science engineering. He is also registered patent agent with the government of India. He is also currently pursuing his second PhD from NMIT Arunachal Pradesh in electronics and communication. Dr. Pareek brings over 14 years of academic experience, having published over 200 research articles in scopus indexed journals and conferences. He is the author of over 10 textbooks and has registered more than 50 industrial designs with the Indian Patent Office. His portfolio includes over 25 granted international patents and 100 plus filed and published Indian utility patents. In addition to his academic and research pursuit, Dr. Pareek guides PhD scholars at Visvesvaraya Technological University, Belgavi, the University of Mysore, Manipal University, Bangalore, and NIT University. He has successfully supervised the completion of 13 PhDs, including 6 from Visvesvaraya Technological University. A fellow of IETE, senior member of IEEE, and active member of ACM and IEI, Dr. Pareek also serves as a guest editor for MDPA Electronics and the Taylor and Francis book series. He regularly reviews for journals published by Springer, Elsewhere, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, and is an IPR and publication advisor in the education sector. He has been listed among the world's top 2 scientists for the year 2024-25, curated by Stanford University, USA. Now I request for HOD sir to present the sapling to our honorable resource person.
Thanks for
Now I invite Dr. Piyush Kumar Pareek to take over the session.
better download it.
Okay, due to some issues that PPT permission I am not getting, so it's okay, I can do it without PPT and I will show you some live demonstration.
Okay, let us come.
So now coming to the discussion, I would like to have it two ways. I never speak one way. First, I would like to know your names and your domains in which you have done PhD or you are doing your PhD or any areas where you are interested in carrying out some other research. And start.
So my name is Dr. Rajesh. So I have completed my PhD from National Institute of Technology, Andhra Pradesh. Yes, sir. And my research area is in power electronics, especially in multi-level inverters. So for creating fault tolerance to the multi-level inverters, and I am working on rating 66 multi-level inverters. So this is my project.
Myself, Dr. Kumar, and my research area is IES in power electronics.
And Satish, my specialization in embedded systems, pursuing PhD in smart grids.
Smart grids.
I'm Dr. Babu. I completed my PhD in EEE University level. So my research area is multi-level inverter and power.
My name is Dr. Kumar. I have done my PhD from NMIT Patna, and my research area is power electronics and control.
My name is Keshweta. I did my MTech in electrical power system and PhD about to pursue.
I'm Dr. Shweta. I have completed my PhD at Sastra University, Bengaluru, and my area of interest is power electronic converters for smart grid systems.
I'm Dr. Sagar. I did my PhD in NMIT Lokesh. My research is data-driven control techniques.
I'm Kumar. I am pursuing my PhD in energy management strategies in electric vehicle charger.
That is famous in research. Madam was mentioning we have more than 5,000 scientists.
I'm Dr. Sami. I have done PhD from I completed my MTech and I pursued my PhD in smart grid. Dr. Sami. I completed my PhD in my area is power
Power quality.
I'm Dr. Dayananda. I have completed my PhD from Shiksha University, Bhubaneswar, and my PhD area is mathematical application and electromagnetic field theory.
This is Dr. Sumandi. I completed my PhD from BTU. My research topic is energy management and microgrids.
Myself Ganesh. My research area is power electronics and image processing.
I'm Abhinanil. I completed my MTech in signal processing.
I'm Preksha. Completed my MTech in biomedical signal processing and my research area will be on medical electronics. I'm Kaishi. I have completed my MTech from MS Ramaya and my domain is VLSI and embedded systems.
Myself Archana. I completed my master's in industrial electronics. Myself Dr. Savita, PhD from BTU. My research area is power electronics and recently machine applications.
Myself Kavita. My research area is
So here, my observation is when it comes to intellectual property rights, as everyone's research area is more or less related to something which is generating a system, maybe power grids or management, quality management. So when it comes to your research area, more or less it is very easy to develop a system. When it comes to our field like AI, we are working on algorithms, giving some softwares. And when it comes to patents, as per our section 3K of Indian Patent Act, softwares are not patentable. US it is allowed, but not in India. So for us it is very difficult to come up with a patent application because whatever algorithms we write, it comes under section 3K, it gets rejected, it is a copyright law. But when it comes to your department, electrical or electronics and communication, you can easily develop a system because you involve more of hardware and some hardware software. If you know, it is very easy for you to come up with a patent application and easily you can get a grant of the patent application. See, when it comes to patents, if you ask me personally, out of 100 patents which we file, all 100 gets published. Out of 100 filed patents, all hundreds of them get published within 18 months from the date of filing. But if we apply through expedited publication or early publication using Form 9, it gets published within 1 month or 2 months depending on the traffic at the Indian Patent Office. Now, out of 100 published patents, how many are going to examination? Hardly we see 5 or 10 will go for examination. And 90 of them, no one applies for examination after 3 years or 4 years. See, earlier there was a period of 48 months from the date of filing, within which you have to apply for examination. Otherwise, the patent will be considered as dismissed. They will dismiss your patent application. Now that period has been reduced from 48 months to 32 months as per recent amendments in the Act. So now within 32 months of your date of filing, if you don't file the examination, it will get dismissed or they remove it from the patent application. So as I mentioned, out of 100 filed, only 10% go for examination. Now out of the 100 which goes for examination, 1 or 2 gets granted. And out of 100, hundreds of them which get granted, 1 of them gets commercialized. The main purpose of intellectual property right is commercialization. It is not just publishing it and leaving it as it is. So my request to all of you will be to please understand, especially in our universities or in colleges, nowadays the trend is if you are unable to publish a Scopus conference paper or a Scopus research article, we will give it for publishing, will get 2 marks in a lab for publishing, showing the publishing status. But that is waste of resources, waste of money. It is better we should develop the project in such a way that it leads to a product in the end and it is really getting commercialization. But even if we get one commercialized product, we can have at least 10 more universities like this. That is the power and potential in an intellectual property. It is not just fetching 1 or 2 marks in NRF or any other thing. So with this paper, I would also like to show you one of the method. Now, as some of you have mentioned, your area of research is say smart grids. So this is our Government of India patent website, ipindia.government.in. So it is a very simple process. You have to just go through the public search, or search for patents. See, published and granted. See, as I mentioned, out of 100 published, only 1 will get granted. So it is better to go for granted patents only, not to search for published patents. So you are searching for granted patents. You are giving, saying the abstract or title, smart grids. So after you give the search option, you will get in the decreasing order of the grant. See, automated smart traffic control system, wastewater treatment and reuse system for household application. So likewise, you will get the patents which are granted. Now again, if you go further in depth, let's take this one, more related to it. So system and method for integrated electrical vehicle charging station allocation and distributed generation placement. if we observe here, they have given publishing date 31st January 2025. And there are different classifications. They classify the patents based on the research area and there are different IPC classes for that. And you can see here the list of inventors. It is filed from sir your university, NIT Patna, answer was there. आपके university, NIT Patna. आपका नाम अशोक तो नहीं है? So here if you just go to view application status, see the beautiful part of any intellectual property document is you will get all the communications between the inventors or applicants between the patent office online available. Why it is available online? Because based on your complete disclosure to the government, government is going to assess whether it has novelty, inventive step and industrial application. And if anyone thinks that your idea is copied, is a copied idea, then he can file a pre-grant opposition. There are two categories of opposition. Pre-grant opposition, before the grant of a patent, anyone can file a complaint against your idea and give it to the patent office. Then when the examination stage appears, then they can consider their input and they will ask you questions on that. And if it is unnoticed copied material, even after the grant of patent, people can approach the patent office within 1 year of the grant and stop your commercialization process. So here if you see there are different steps. For date of filing 21st January 2025. Publishing date 31st January 2025. So within 10 days he got his patent published because they would have applied for early publishing. So in early publishing what happens, within a month anytime it can publish based on the traffic at the Indian Patent Office. Every Friday the patent journal is published in the Indian Patent Office. And if you see 12th February 2025, first examination report has come. So how many months from his date of filing?
1 month.
Just 1 month they have received the first examination report. Generally the first examination report comes after 1.5 years or 2 years if they have applied for standard examination. But I am 100% sure they would have applied through expedited examination process where you are paying 8,000 rupees using form 18A. And the condition is you should be a startup or you should have a women inventor in your list of applicants. Then only you can go for an expedited examination. Either you should be startup or you should have a women entrepreneur or one of the member in the patent. Because of which they have got early examination report and how many days they took to reply to the first examination report. See, that is the last one. Reply to first examination report. 17th March. So within 4 months, because they would have had all the material with them, content with them, they have immediately replied with whatever questions were asked. So once you apply with the questions asked, then finally the patent office will give you whether it is a granted or whether it is not granted. If you see your view documents, you will get all the details like when was the intimation of grant, patent certificate. So recently they have also updated the patent certificate. Earlier only 5 names used to display or 3 names used to display. But now they have made sure all the applicants' inventors' names should display in the patent. This is an example of patent certificate and see here if you observe. Now for the work what he has applied, there are different forms which he has to submit. If you come here, there is a main thing called as complete specification. This I would like to discuss. So this is more or less similar to the research article. See what happens in our research article, there is a title of the paper followed by abstract, then introduction, then literature survey, then research methodology, then you write some results and discussions, finally findings, conclusion and references. So approximately it is 100% similar to that. Here in our patent application we have title of invention followed by field of invention, to which field it belongs. After that you have prior art of work. It is similar to your literature survey. So in literature survey you are referring to some primary sources of data or secondary sources of data. But in patents we refer to the already existing granted patents across the globe, not only in India. You please understand that IPRs are territorial rights. They are territorial in nature. If I file a patent application in India and I get grant of it, I am restricted for the rights only in India. And if I feel there is a market for my product in USA, so then I have to go for USA and file a US patent. If I feel this product has potential customers in China, then I will also apply a Chinese patent. Now it becomes very difficult for an individual to go to each country and apply because it is a territorial right. However, when you are applying, you are checked against novelty not only in India, across the globe. So novelty is checked across the globe, but the rights are territorial in nature. You have the rights only in particular country for which you have applied. When it comes to multinational companies, as their name itself suggests, they have offices in multiple countries because they have their markets for their products or services in multiple countries. So they would like to have the protection of their services and products in multiple countries. So they go for PCT applications, Paris Convention Treaty application. India is part of PCT agreement. That agreement states that out of all the 255 countries which are part of this PCT treaty, any individual, any applicant or inventor, if he wants to file patents in multiple countries, instead of going to each country's office and apply, through this PCT application, he can directly select all the countries which are part of this PCT treaty. So using this PCT application, many of the MNCs go through this route and start for the protection of their idea in multiple countries. So when it comes to content of your patent application, it begins from title of invention, field of invention, then prior art of work. What others have done in the field across the globe and how your patent application or how your proposed work is different from what is already existing. So doing the literature survey, comparative analysis. And if you feel, okay, this work is already done, then what we do? We have to either improvise our idea, innovate it, and then again apply. Otherwise, patent office clearly will mention in its report that your patent application lacks novelty. It will cite the literature survey or with all the prior arts which is already done. Your work is similar to this patent number. So that is the reason we are rejecting your patent application. So when this prior art of work is most crucial step, if you see some of the IP firms which I have also associated with, what they do, they get money more in rejecting the patent application. They earn more money by saying this patent is not worth going for filing. See, because as a multinational company, you are going to apply a patent for 20 countries. The total cost involved in applying patent in those 20 countries will be around 60 lakhs. And you want to check whether it is worth going with this idea or not. So it is like market feasibility study in terms of novelty. So what our offices will be doing the private offices, IPR firms, they will take your idea, they will do a thorough literature review and they will give you a report at the end. Yes, this patent can be, this application can go ahead with publishing, with filing. Or this application cannot go for filing because it lacks novelty. So and so patents already have this idea. And now for their conclusion, you are going to pay them 2 to 3 lakhs. Because he has saved your 50 lakhs, otherwise the company would have spent 60 lakhs. And the same report what he has given would be given by patent offices of different countries. So you have saved the money there. So these IPR firms earn more money by saying this application is not worth. It is worth, if they say it is worth, it has to be worth. They can't simply say it is worth, give me 5 lakhs. No, they will have to give thorough report, clearly checking everything. That is how this prior art of work is the most important step in the patent application. If your prior art is done very well, even in our PhDs we say that your work should be novel, it should not match the existing work, it should be something, some newness should be there in your research work. Otherwise at the end, you will again modify your objectives or you will come up with some other methodology trying to prove your work is better than the others. Comparative studies is the must. Similarly, in this prior art of work, you will be comparing patents which are already existing across the globe, how yours is better than the existing ones. If you do proper prior art of work, you are almost the winner. Next comes summary of the invention. Summary of the invention, you will write a brief, in very brief, you will be explaining about the summary of the invention. Then objects of the invention are like your objectives. What are you intended to do with that particular product? Then clearly in bullet points you will be mentioning about the objectives. Now there comes the main part, that is detailed description of the system. Detailed description of the invention along with the accompanied drawing. Suppose I say this bottle is my invention. This bottle can give water, hot or warm for 48 hours. Now my claim is based on the quality of material which is used for this water bottle, which is having an added advantage compared to other water bottles in the market. The material which I am going to specify, it has some features. So those features I am going to describe in a very detailed manner, in detailed description of the invention. All the sub-components which are used in this water bottle, I am going to explain them in very detailed manner, how they are integrated together to give the complete system. As I mentioned, system is nothing but a group of interrelated components that work together to achieve certain objective. Now for this water bottle, the objective is to keep any liquid hot or warm for hot or cold for certain amount of time, maybe 48 hours, maybe 1 week. So this is the objective of this system. Now what are the sub-components? Maybe the quality material used, the cap and other sub-components. So those all the sub-components will have to describe in detailed description. That's why the name itself is detailed description with the accompanied drawings. So with clearly you have to specify what are the sub-components, how they are related to each other, how are you achieving what you are claiming, that this bottle is best, this system is best. So all that you have to describe very clearly in detailed description. Then you have claims. Claims, clearly it says what is that you want to claim with all this detailed description. I have a system which will achieve this. I have a system which will stop this. I have a system which has enhanced security. All those your characteristics you are going to define in claims part. And finally the abstract of the invention. In our research article we write abstract in the beginning, here we write at the end. So this is more or less similar to your research article. So let us see the content of the patent what we search. See, here they have mentioned title of the invention. System and method for integrated electric vehicle charging station allocation and distributed generation placement. Then this is a preamble. This has to be there for all the patent applications. The following specification particularly describes the invention and the manner in which it has to be performed. See, this preamble is very, very important. Why government is going to give you rights over your invention for a period of 20 years? Based on this patent, you are going to clearly disclose the best and possible method to carry out the invention. On complete disclosure of your invention, only government is going to give you protection. What will happen if you hide some methods and you just disclose few methods? Then you have the protection only for the methods for which you have disclosed. Any undisclosed secrets, anyone else comes to know, he can manufacture, because you have not claimed protection for those. If you have hidden something, it is gone. So this patent application should cover all the angles, all 360 degrees, you have to mention everything. If you hide something, there is no protection for that. So as an inventor or applicant, you should always suggest the best method of performance, because that only you will get the protection. Otherwise, you are going to protect something which is not what is actually needed to be protected. Then technical field or field of invention. So they have mentioned this present invention relates to electrical vehicles, charging infrastructure and power distribution systems. So this is a generic format. Some people also write field of invention electrical engineering. We can't say it is right or we can't say this is right. At the end of the day, you are getting grant of the invention based on the complete disclosure. So here the major part comes, the claims, the detailed description. All these things title, field of invention, instead of writing electrical engineering, if I write like this, obviously the examiner will get a very clear idea or a detailed idea. Okay, this belongs specifically, it is related to electrical vehicles. And even why this is an important part, because we had seen some of our students who had done their projects in mechanical engineering. Because of their work, see, when people search your inventions, which is published also, published means it is not granted till now. Granted means it has crossed all the stages. Suppose I am an investor and I am interested in your idea. So I will go through every detailed field of invention, everything. And if I like your idea, maybe you are not interested in the grant, but I am interested in your patent. So I will immediately deal with you and get it transferred to my name and I will carry it forward. I have lawyers, I have attorneys, I have complete R&D department in my organization. So as a student, I will give 10 lakhs or 1 crore and I will close it. I will take the ownership from there. So even for students, I suggest you write everything in detail. No matter, even if you are going to publish, we don't know which company might show interest in that. And they have lot of team to carry it forward for commercialization. Then comes background or introduction of the research work. See, these 2, 1 are just the paragraph numbers. 5, 6, 7, all these are paragraph numbers. So in brief, you are going to explain about your work. Then objects of present invention. Summary of the invention. Brief description of the drawings. So you are just mentioning the drawing titles. Then detailed description. Here if you see, they have used 112, 110, this is the label, they have labeled all the parts. If you see the drawings in the figures. Yeah, figures. So after detailed description, you have claims part, then abstract. See, they have taken help of a registered patent agent, Tarun Khurana.
I will check with them, sir.
See, here if you see drawings, the drawings would be labeled with the subcomponents what we are using detailed description like this. 102, 102. So they not refer to 10 processors, they will write 104 and explain. So if anyone wants to understand their patent idea in very detailed manner, he has to keep everything in hand. Figures here and then understand, otherwise you can't relate.
Mostly all our software EEE only, as you said,
See, in very detailed manner they have explained, till 9 figures they have used. Now if we check the first examination report, what they received from the patent office, see, it will be something like this. Examination report under section 1213 of the Indian Patent Act. So after they have uploaded the document, see, this is the examination report. They check against inventive step, industrial application, whether it falls under section 3 and 4 of the Indian Patent Act. And here if you observe claims 1 to 8, claims 1 to 8 non-patentability. So here they have clearly mentioned. See, when they are comparing, they will just take the claims part of your invention. They are not interested in the background or prior art work. The patent office will take your claims, what are you claiming, with a detailed description. Now, if you are claiming something which is already existing, they will cite like this. It lacks novelty, it lacks inventive step. See, inventive step, whether it is there in claims 1 to 8, they have mentioned no. Claims 1 to 8 lacks inventive step according to the patent office. Does it have industrial application? Okay, yes, they have mentioned yes. And does it fall under non-patentability, that is section 3 of the Indian Patent Act? They have mentioned section 3K. So what is this section 3K? This section 3 we will discuss in detail later, but section 3K is clearly focusing on the inventions which have algorithms or mathematical modeling. So if they feel your application is having more of mathematical modeling and it has algorithms which is not a patentable subject matter, then they reject it saying this. And also see, as I mentioned, they have given the references of some patent numbers which are already granted. So already it is existing like that. They have mentioned 2 patents. And in detail, they would have given this complete detailed report. Now keeping the same report with them, in March what they have done, reply to first examination report. Response to first examination report. This is first examination report response. So they said the examination report alleges that claims 1 to 8 lakhs inventive step over these cited materials. The applicant respectfully disagrees. See, there is some technical legal language. We have to write it in the similar manner. You can't say I don't agree. Like that it will not. We have to write this legal language. We have to use this. The applicant respectfully disagrees. At the outset, it is humbly and respectfully submitted that. See, because they have used this language, they have again considered it because he has made use of an attorney. So attorney knows how to draft the reply. They would have taken the technical content from you, but they would have drafted it in a legal manner. So at the outset, it is humbly and respectfully submitted that present invention relates to the field of electrical vehicle charging infrastructure and more particularly to a system and method for allocation of electrical vehicles. States that D1 to D2 cannot be considered to motivate a person skilled. So like this, they have given some justification with respect to the drawing. See this, I have used this subsystem, it is different from the earlier one which you have specified. So for each thing they have drafted a clear justification. See, they received a first examination report of 4 pages. He has replied by 12 pages. It means he has, in serious manner, he has replied. I have seen some FARs, they have received 2 pages report, they have given reply of 80 pages. Patent office says it's okay, we'll grant later. Because even in our patent office, we have seen nowadays they are also using ChatGPT to check all these things. Because they also don't have that much time. So they are taking few applications, giving to ChatGPT and checking the novelty everything. And applicants are also using ChatGPT to write. So this ChatGPT answering ChatGPT. So like this different forms are and this just a sample. So this method you can always use to, if you are filing your patent application in your domain, you can just take a sample and then understand what they have done and then you can accordingly make changes for your application. See, there is one more very important site which I would like to show. Patent lens. It is a free website for educational institutions. It is completely free. You can log in through your Dayananda Sagar email ID. See, you can keep this website also. It has all the important websites which are related to IPRs. He is my friend only. He was in Symbiosis Pune. Now he works with RK Diwan IPR firm. It is the biggest firm in India. So here he has mentioned all the websites which are important. If you just click, it will take you to the language. This is patent scope, worldwide. You can just go through his website, you will get all the links, important links. Suppose I want to search what has been done in smart grid technology, or say EV vehicles. EV vehicles. See, this will fetch you the data from across the globe, not only in India, throughout the globe. Can you first guess what will be the number of patents filed across the globe which are granted in EV technology? 1,000? Sir,
More.
how many, ma'am?
10,000.
10,000.
Is it per year or per year?
Actually, sir, any guess how many you will find across the globe, not only India?
More than a lakh.
HOD sir is the winner. 1,62,624. See, we feel that EV technology is new. Okay, this new branch. But already across the globe, if you see, 1,62,000 patents are already granted. Already granted, not just filed, granted. And if you observe here, Qualcomm has 9,308 patents granted on EV technology, electrical vehicle. Intel, all these companies, Hyundai, and if you see further analysis, see there is a increase in the patent numbers till 26. If you see, still it is in the rising phase only. 2014, 2015 onwards only a lot of work is being done on this. And the top applicants, Qualcomm, Toyota, Interdigital, ACL, Intel, all these are the companies which have maximum grants on EV technology. So any EV product you are buying today, definitely royalty will be going to these people for a period of 20 years. This is how these companies are able to maintain their market capital. It is not just by doing small projects or services. They earn a lot of money through the IPRs. See, Qualcomm is always the world's leader in terms of patents. You take any field, Qualcomm will be having maximum number of patents, generally in general. Owners also, see, top applicants and owners. Again, Qualcomm, Toyota, Hyundai, same, almost same. Then who are the top attorneys which have helped these grant numbers? So Fish and Richardson, this company has helped to get 1622 patent applications granted. Then if you also observe here, Yamazaki, this inventor has 2,116 patents granted on EV technology. You can imagine this fellow's net worth with out of 2,000, even if he is having 5 commercialized patents also, it is more than enough. Then patent citations are also there. If I am citing in my priority or work, so let them. So this website you can always use to give research problem statements to your research scholars, because I have seen here 99% of your PhD holders on. So you can give, and even one or two faculties who are going to pursue their PhDs, you can select your problem statement from here. See, if you take the first patent here from here. Here you will get full text. Abstract, technical field, background, summary, brief description of the drawings, detailed description of the embodiments, claims. So you can download the complete document from here, understand what they have done, because they will be speaking only of the technical aspects, which is very much important for anyone to start the problem, to continue with the problem statement. So this website, I strongly recommend every one of you to please go through it and come up with the problem statements, because see, this work, if it is filed in 2023, obviously this work would have started in 2020, and they have the protection of this for at least 20 more years. So till 2043 they have the protection of this idea. So now if you want to do something, you have to work on something that is not in the market for the next 5 years. So it is always working in imagination stage, coming up with the ideas. As I also remember when I was in Dayananda Sagar 2010, that time people used to, when we used to go for project works in Bosch company, that time Bosch was working on this LED panels in the cars. That time no car had that smart displays now what you are having for each car. That time they were working in 2010, and now we are using them in mostly all the cars. Even still some of the cars may not have that. So they have worked on that for 16 years before. Now that technology is coming. So when it comes to industry kind of research, we have to be visiting industries, startups, and try to get problem statements from them, rather than going through research articles. Even if you ask me research articles publishing in Q1 journal, it may take 1 year or 2 years, and that author would have written it 3-4 years earlier. That is also outdated. So it is better to go to industries, startups, and take real-time problem statements, because whatever you are seeing online, that is already outdated. It can't be latest. See, this is our intellectual property website of India, Government of India. So here basically they have classified mainly patents, industrial designs, trademarks, geographical indicators, copyright. Many of us will be aware of what is patent, design, trademarks, GIs, copyrights, but still I would like to give some brief introduction on all these different categories of intellectual properties. So I would like your involvement also in this. So when it comes to patent, what is your idea of patent? What do you mean by patent? In general, you can answer. In general, what do you mean by patent? If you observe this staff room, reserving, okay, getting protection of your work done. For which category of work? See, when I say I have a patent or I have a copyright or I have a design or a GI tag or a trade secret, there are different categories of products. But a same product can have all different categories of IPRs also. If you see my mobile phone, this mobile phone working principle is a patent. It is a system used, it is a communication device. It has sub-components. When I am writing a patent application, I describe its sub-components. Now when I am speaking of the external appearance of this mobile phone, I am just going to give its top view, front view, left side view, right side view, bottom view, all the 7 perspective views. That constitutes the design of this intellectual property right. That constitutes the industrial design for this product. If I come up with a user manual of this mobile phone, that is a copyright. That is forming the part of the copyright. How to use this mobile phone, how not to use this mobile phone, that is also copyright. Now some logos in the at the back side of your mobile phone, they come under trademarks because it helps you to identify whether the product is original or not. And you may ask, though some other company may use the same logo. If it uses so, then it is infringement. And if anyone does infringement, the company whose logo is copied, he can easily go and approach Government of India and file a case against it because he has a trademark certificate for his logo. So if he has the legal rights after going through the process of trademark registration, obviously he can claim the infringement charges. If he doesn't do so, if he doesn't have trademark, then anyone can copy. That is the reason people approach the IPR office for their patents, for their designs, for their copyrights or for trade secrets, because government is going to give you protection. See, it is intellectual property and rights. What right you have over your product? Your mobile phone can be used by you, you can give it to your friends, you can give it to your relatives, or you can give it to others for lease basis. It is your property. You are free to do anything. I have a house, I can myself stay, give it on rent basis or give it on lease or sell it off or just keep it idle. It is left to me. But it is not in the case of IPRs. You can't, see, IPRs are negative rights. You are stopping others from using this new invention for some royalty amount. But what if I have 3 very good inventions and I am not using it? I am not manufacturing the product, nor allowing you to manufacture. Is it not a loss for the country? You have a very good idea, but I am not manufacturing it. You have given me grant of the patent application for a period of 20 years. And for the next 15 years, suppose it took 5 years for me for the grant of this product, I am not going to use. It is a national loss because you have a very good invention, it is being granted, but you are not manufacturing it. And others can't copy it because you have the rights of that. So I will file a case against infringement if others are manufacturing it or copying it. Now what will country do? What will Government of India do? So Indian Patent Act has a provision, if you are not utilizing your patent for a period of 3 years, it will be seized. You can't keep it just as it is and not use. That is not allowed. And in recent days, during COVID time, suppose you have a drug to fight against coronavirus and you are charging high, and people are finding it difficult to afford that medicine. In such medical emergencies, in such critical situations, government can take away your idea and give it to the public to save the lives of people. That power Government of India has, and all the countries' government has kept their rights reserved. So no one can say I have this medicine but I will not sell it for this price because it is a life-saving drug, and in emergency situations government can snatch your license and give it to all. So that provision our Patent Act is having. So when I say patents, trademarks, copyright, designs, they can all be in a single on a single product. If you remember our late Shri Ratan Tataji, he had a dream of making sure everyone has a car with him. So he came up with Laktakia car, means a car worth 1 lakh rupees. Today if you see Activa Honda is worth 1,20,000, 30,000, 2-wheeler. But he has manufactured a car for 1 lakh rupees. He sold a car for 1 lakh rupees. Obviously the break-even point will be 80,000 or 70,000, otherwise he can't manufacture. Because no one will manufacture for 1,20,000 and sell it for 1 lakh. It is a huge loss. he would have kept at least 10 or 20% margin, profit margin to run the operations. Now you imagine how could he do that? How could he come up with a system of a car or a transportation vehicle which is costing 1 lakh? See, what will decide the price of your system? If I say this mobile phone is 1 lakh, this mobile phone is 20,000, this mobile phone is 5 lakhs. Obviously the sub-components or the features will decide the price of the product. Now he has come up with a 4-wheeler and the cost is reduced. You are unable to buy a 2-wheeler for 1 lakh, he came up with a car of 1 lakh. So all the sub-components which were used in the car were all new inventions. They took almost 5 to 7 years to come up with 255 inventions or sub-components for that particular car, Tata Nano. It has the highest number of IPRs for that particular product. That only car has the highest number of inventions. It was his dream to make it true. They did R&D day and night for 7 years. Finally they came up with a product. Highest number of IPRs are on that car. Maybe design copyrights, maybe the sub-components are all inventions. Everything is new. That is how they could reduce the price of that complete system. And when it comes to industrial design, see, it is just external appearance of the product. Now you may say patent is more important than a design or design is more important than a patent. It is not so. Everything has its own importance. See, now if you go to a market, you have, say this, okay, these 2 bottles are looking alike only. Suppose you have 2 bottles in the market. Same price, same quality. Which one will you buy? It is having same price, same quality. See, first thing to decide any product, we say it has to fit the standard. Second thing we see whether it is fitting our budget or not. Third thing we see whether it is of high quality or not, or brand name we see. Suppose the same brand, Bisleri, it has 3 different designs, 3 different products. Same price, same quality, same capacity to hold the bottle. Which one will you buy?
Reviews.
Okay, based on the reviews. Then any other differential factor? Appearance. Because see, the external appearance of this water bottle is one of the key factors. They say that when 2 products are competing at equal price and equal quality, the only differential factor which will influence the consumers or buying behavior, buying pattern is the external appearance of the product. How appealing it is to your eye. If you see the apparel industry or jewelry industry, it is all about designs. If you go to a shop, the shirt is 1,000 rupees, you have 20 shirts of 1,000 rupees each. You will select the one which is appealing to you, which you may like, the color or the texture or the external appearance. So everything that industrial design decides whether you want to buy the product or not. See, at the end of the day, the companies have to sell the product. Though you are manufactured with the latest technology, though it has the features, the competitor also comes up with the similar features. Now, how will you increase your sales? So that deciding factor is the industrial design. So industrial design is a very important category of intellectual properties on which lot of companies spend a huge amount of money. Because only if the product is attractive to your eye or appealing to your eye, then only you are going to purchase. Otherwise, you are going to buy some other product. Even in cars, we see the same thing. You see different cars, all are of 10 lakhs. Even the company's brand name also, if you compare Tata with Mahindra or Maruti, they are more or less very good brands. Now you will see which is more appealing to your eye and you are buying something which is of value 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Suppose you make a product very attractive and the sales increase shoot up, the company is going to benefit. So at the end of the day, the company's profits, the company's margins, everything depends on the industrial designs which make them attractive in the market. See, and as I said, there are different stages of a patent application. First is filing. You draft the patent application with title of invention, field of invention, prior art of work, summary of the invention, objects of the invention, detailed description of the drawings, claims, abstract, diagrams, etc. Then you mention the applicants and inventors. So, can you tell me the difference between an applicant and an inventor? who is an applicant and who is an inventor? Okay, very good. So if madam is filing a patent, she is the inventor and Dayananda Sagar is the applicant. Similarly, if I am working for Maruti Suzuki company, I am working for their R&D department, I am getting paid for the R&D works what I am doing as a part of my salary. So whatever I am producing is a part of my job, day-to-day job. So Maruti Suzuki is the applicant and I am the inventor. Now what is the difference between the rights of an applicant and inventor? Applicant is the real owner of the product. Applicant is the owner of the product. Suppose tomorrow madam's patents get commercialized. She will not get anything out of that because she is the inventor. Her name is there, she has invented. But applicant is the owner and owner will get the commercials out of that invention. So here applicant refers to the person who has paid madam to do the research work. And applicant here refers to the person who has set up the R&D labs here to carry out the research. So he is the owner. However, they can have a mutual agreement with each amongst the company and the client that I get 30%, 20%, or they can add madam as an applicant also, and then later on they can divide as per the agreement. So that differs from the person to person and company to company. But the applicant is the only person who is going to get the commercialization, who is going to get the money or revenue out of the application.
You have 10 minutes break.
and 20 minutes of pedaling could charge the battery by 50%. And if you see the USB cabling, also same mobile phone sockets he has used. So that becomes an inventive step. Anyone in the similar field should get surprised and should become happy that okay, this product is leading to an enhancement in the science and technology of our department. So this product can easily convert any normal cycle into an electrical cycle. And at the end, you would have seen one slide which clearly mentions that in India, 8 crores of bicycles and tricycles can utilize this technology and be converted into electrical vehicle. So that is one of the most important characteristic of a patent application. It should have an industrial application. So section 2AC of our Indian Patent Act says that anything which can be manufactured in the industry or used by the industry is said to have industrial application. So that last line was proving that this has 8 crores of autos, bicycles, tricycles can use this. So it has a mass application for this product. And novelty is like this product should not be present in any part of the globe when he is filing an Indian patent application. Or any country he can file, but that product should not be present in any part of the globe. In any format, video format or document format, anything. An inventive step. It should give you surprise in the minds of the people of the known field, not a new field. See, if I say anything to a arts or commerce person, he will get surprised for very simple things also. But an electrical engineer should say that this is a good product. So you should certify that this product is, yes, it is good. It is leading to the development of the electrical field technology. So then only we say it is having an inventive step. So having all these three characteristics, and there is one more section, that is section 3 and section 4 of Indian Patent Act, which is the most important section in our Indian Patent Act, which clearly states what are the things that cannot be considered for patent. Section 4 will say that anything related to atomic energy cannot be considered for patent application. But section 3 clearly says that what are not inventions. I would like to display that, because when we are giving projects to our students, this section has to be kept in our mind. So you can go to the Act and Rules, Patent Act, go to the HTML page. Section 3, what are not inventions? So section 3A to P clearly says us that what are not inventions. So section 3A will say that an invention which is frivolous in nature or which claims contrary to the well-established natural laws. For example, I will say this device without any input it is giving you an output. Or if I say this device is working against gravitational force. Every one of us is aware that gravitational force is a very well established law. We can't deny the parameters there. It is already very well proven. So if someone says, I have come up with a product, this is working against that, or it means that he is coming up with an imaginary devices, which cannot be practically possible. So such invention applications will be rejected straight away by the patent office in their first examination report as per section 3A. Your claims are falling under section 3A, it is frivolous in nature. Now section 3B says that, see, this all intellectual property rights are for giving profit to your company and for the development of science and technology. And it is the primary intention of this is welfare of human life, animal life and any form of life on earth. So if you are coming up with any application which is harmful to the life on earth, it may be for aquatic, it may be for plant life or animal life. So such patent applications will be rejected straightforward. So this section 3B says that an invention, the primary or intended use or commercial exploitation of which could be contrary to the public order or morality, or which causes serious prejudice to human, animal or plant life or health or to the environment. Suppose I come up with an invention application which is harmful to the environment. So all such applications will be rejected, and also our address will be there. When we file a patent application, our address will be there. So if I frequently file such applications, they may also come to our home, and they may send cops also, because they come to know this fellow is mentally unstable. I don't know what he is trying to do. So that is also one more risk. So section 3C says the mere discovery of a scientific principle. See, there is difference between discovery and invention. When I say discovery, it is naturally occurring since ages, created by God. So I can't take a stone and say this is created by me, because it's naturally occurring in nature. If I file such patent application saying this non-living thing is created by me, so the patent office will throw the same stone on my head. They will tell, are you cracked? This is naturally occurring. This is a discovery, not an invention. Similarly, animals, plant life. If I say this species is done by me, this created by me, such all applications will be rejected. Microorganisms. If you come up with a patent application with some microorganisms, they will be rejected. But there is a clause there. Genetically modified microorganisms. For example, your COVID vaccine is nothing but genetically modified microorganism to heal you from cancer or any other diseases. But it is genetically modified by you. Such applications can be considered for patent application. But naturally found once if you go and take, this is discovery, not an invention. Section 3D is purely related to pharmaceutical industry, wherein you have come up with a drug but different form. There is already a drug in solid form, you convert it into a liquid form and say this is my new application, new drug. That will be rejected. Or isomers or isotopes of similar chemical composition, they will reject it, because everyone knows in different forms and different isomers will have the same property. So such applications which have the isomers, isotopes or different forms of the same substance, they will be rejected under section 3D. Then section 3 says that substance which is obtained by just mixing of two materials without having a significant effect. See, when I say 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, everyone knows that. I mix a drug of fever and I mix a drug of headache. I say this new drug which cures both headache and fever. Everyone knows that. So such compositions, admixture, will not be considered for patent application, because they are just a simple admixture without resulting in aggregation of properties, and it is not creating any surprise results. So that effect, if it is not there, patent application will be rejected. The mere arrangement or rearrangement or duplication of known devices, wherein each working independently of one another. So you have combined two subcomponents and you say that this is a new product. Suppose I come up with a pen and a pen drive, and I say this can be used to note down the things, and the back portion of it can be used to save the virtual files, to save some files in the pen drive. But both are working independently of each other. So such systems will be rejected by the patent office. Though the product may be new, not in the market, but still the patent office will say this comes under section 3F, so it is being rejected. Then section 3H, a method of agriculture or horticulture. So if you come up with a process of increasing the yield of crops or animals, getting benefit out of those things, so that process will not be considered for patent application. However, you come up with a product related to agriculture or horticulture, that product can be considered, but not the process. Process will not be considered for patent application. Then section 3I, if you come up with a process of treating human life, animals, plants to take care of their health, cure them from disease, again this will be rejected under section 3I. You can come up with the medical devices as a product, but not just a process, because the process will again come under copyright. Section 3K, this is what the patent office had quoted for that example which we discussed. Section 3K says that a mathematical or business method or a computer program or an algorithm or any algorithm they come under copyright, so they will be rejecting your application if it is purely an algorithm or a mathematical method. So these different forms of intellectual properties, they don't coincide. So they are different subsets. You can't say this can be used as a patent or a design. No, design is separate. You are speaking about the external appearance of the product. The working principle comes in patent. The trademark is just the logo, and the copyright is the user manual. So you can't say, can I file the same thing for multiple intellectual properties? So they are different fields. Similarly, a presentation of information or section 3M says a method of playing game, all those will be rejected, they come under copyright. And section 3B, any traditional knowledge, as every one of us is aware, the use of neem leaves, turmeric leaves. So we have a traditional knowledge digital library which has all the ancient things which our ancestors used to follow. So such things you cannot pick up and say this is a new medicine, I am coming up with this image. So anything which is already known to the world from ages, that cannot be considered for the patent application. It is known to the world, it is not the invention. You are just applying the use of already existing things. So this section 3, we have to always remember when we are giving projects to the students. Now one more short video I would like to play of industrial designs.
Every object on planet Earth. Yet following a study of 1,000 taxi drivers, no one seems to know what it is. Have you heard of this guy? He's an industrial designer. But what about these phones? Let's go back a bit. When Homo sapiens emerged from the Neanderthal era, one of the things which differentiated us was our ability to make things. This started with stones and clubs, but quickly moved on to pots, clothing and jewelry. People made things for their own use, based on their own personal skills. This was the era of the craftsman, and things stayed that way until the emergence of trade and the division of labour. During the Renaissance, the world of art got perspective, Gutenberg printed stuff, music got good, and folk started to make things for other people in the workshops in Florence, Venice, Nuremberg and Bruges. And this proceeded until the late 18th century, when steam power brought about the Industrial Revolution. Production led to mass production, workshops grew into factories, new models of manufacturing and consumption emerged. Industrial design began around the start of the 20th century with the emergence of the Deutsche Werkbund, which developed into the Bauhaus and the Walter Gropius. Between the 1930s and 50s, the American designer Raymond Loewy popularized industrial design through his work with the Pennsylvania Railroad, Greyhound, Studebaker, and countless domestic product manufacturers, bringing elegant design to the masses. In the 1960s and 70s, Dieter Rams did the same for Braun, and Victoria success for Olivetti. Fast forward to the 1980s, and industrial design finally landed with the emergence of agencies like Frog and IBM. Today you can find industrial designers all over the world, but what do they do? At the core of industrial design lies the creation of plans for manufacture and scale. This involves an understanding of user behavior, ergonomics, shape, color, materials, finishes, manufacturing and function. Outside of this core sits a keen understanding of how objects sit within a brand, how its benefits may be communicated, its role in society, or its impact on other things. Industrial designers draw a lot. We take these drawings to 3D software. We work with electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, manufacturing engineers. We prototype a lot. We make things on machines, we make models, we make 3D prints. We're obsessed by small details because unlike software, we can't set it up for a product. It has to be right first time. These skills make industrial designers increasingly useful in a wide spectrum of work. Industrial designers have the ability to make immediately real models, animations, movies, and storytelling. They don't have to make things desirable to make some want things and feel good using them. They don't have to make things have a minimal impact on the planet. They can use design as a critical tool to make speculations or statements. They don't have to observe people and how they use it to understand technology. They can take an electrical prototype, a pattern, or a mechanical assembly and turn it into a desirable, effective, and useful object. If you want to make a thing at scale, you will need an industrial designer. Come and say hello.
This is of related to copyright. Same law, this is review of US copyright law. We follow Indian copyright law 1957. It is same, almost similar.
Most of us have seen the word or symbol for copyright hundreds of times. But what does it actually mean? Copyright is a type of intellectual property that protects creative works, like books, movies, songs, sound recordings, sculptures, and software. Trademarks and patents protect other types of intellectual property. A trademark is a tool that prevents a company from adopting a name or tagline or a product configuration that is confusingly similar to that used by a competitor. Trademarks help consumers identify the source of what they're buying or using. A patent protects inventions and discoveries, ideas, processes, methods, concepts, machines, and devices, things like that. Patent law protects an idea, while copyright law protects the expression of that idea, the exact words or form chosen to convey the idea. Copyright protection is governed by federal law and has been a part of this country since its founding. The Constitution empowers Congress to enact a federal copyright law to promote the progress of science and the useful arts. Copyright law was seen as a vehicle for adding to society's wealth of culture and knowledge by encouraging the creation and dissemination of new creative works and information. Copyright does this by giving its owners certain rights over work and its commercialization. The Supreme Court has recognized copyright as an engine of free expression. Copyright law can be found in Title 17 of the United States Code. So, what does it take to get copyright protection? First, a work must be independently created by the author. Second, it must have at least a minimal amount of creativity. And third, it must be fixed in a tangible medium. Back in 1790, works covered by the first federal copyright law were limited to maps, charts, and books. Today, copyright protection includes literary works, musical works and sound recordings, dramatic works, pictorial, graphic, and sculptural work, motion pictures and other audiovisual works, pantomime and choreography, and architectural works. Copyrighted works do not include ideas, procedures, processes, systems, methods, concepts, and discoveries. Other things not protected by copyright include facts, names, titles, and short phrases, typeface, font, lettering, blank form, and familiar symbols and designs. Copyright protects the expressive content of the work, not the underlying thoughts and ideas. To be sufficiently creative, the work must demonstrate some spark of creativity. The Supreme Court has said even a modicum of creativity is enough. The bar is low, but there is a bar. A fixed work is one that you can see or hear, or if you can't, at least some technological device can. It doesn't need to be permanent, but it can't be too short or transitory. There are some things, such as improvised performances, that have not been written down or recorded, that do not qualify. As soon as an original work is fixed, it is protected by copyright law. But registering the work with the Copyright Office is a great idea because it creates a public record of the work. Registration also benefits copyright owners. You have to register, or have the office refuse to register, your U.S. work, or you can bring a lawsuit claiming someone infringed your copyright. And a timely registration gives certain legal presumptions that allows you to seek attorney's fees and statutory damages in a lawsuit. Okay, so you have a copyright. Now what? Copyright law gives authors certain exclusive rights in their works for a limited time. For example, copyright owners have the exclusive right to sell their books, publicly display their photographs, or publicly perform their plays, or authorize others to do so. These exclusive rights do not last forever. Generally, they last for the life of the author plus 70 years, or, in the case of works made for hire or anonymous works, for either 95 years from the date of first publication, or 120 years from the date of creation, whichever is shorter. Works created before 1978 have a different term calculation. Users generally need permission before using someone else's copyrighted work, but there are several exceptions and limitations. Fair use is the most famous. It allows journalists to use copyrighted text in news reports, or for an author to parody another author's work. Another exception is the first sale doctrine, which allows the owner of a copy of a protected work to resell or otherwise dispose of that copy. Do you love used bookstores? That's the first sale doctrine at work. To learn more, including how to register your works with the Copyright Office, visit our website at copyright.gov or call 202-780-2999.
In India, we follow the same Copyright Act, but ours is 1957 Copyright Act. So with this little introduction, I would like to wind up the session, and further sessions with permission of HOD sir, I would like to conduct hands-on session of drafting the project. So in our DSCE campus, we conducted a workshop for 2 days, sir, wherein day 1 we made faculties to work on the draft, and day 2 we filed all the patents. The outcome was at the day 2 we filed 20 patents from their department. Similar kind of workshop they can plan, wherein faculties are only drafting and at the second day we are filing. So with outcome based workshop we can plan in future next time or whenever you are free. So I would like to thank Soni ma'am and Savita ma'am and HOD sir for giving me an opportunity, and my classmate Rachna was also actually she was the one who told me several times, please come and share some workshops with us. So unfortunately she is not here, she went for vacation. So I would also like to thank her in her absence here, and thank you everyone for.
I have one small question. Suppose if I don't have any account, is it possible to go outside with grant? Because see, some of the legal words are there. As a normal person, they may not know the legal words. So, but we don't want to hire any attorney because we have to spend 2 years. So without attorney support, is it?
We can do it, sir. Any individual can file his or her patent application. Now because of some softwares like ChatGPT or any AI tool, we can give our ideas and generate it in a similar manner how an attorney is doing. Even when we do consultancy works for FERs, we are also using ChatGPTs only and other AI tools. We also use some paid tools, Cloud AI and other tools. So we are able to do maximum work by utilizing this AI services, but we have to be very careful when we are giving the input, because sometimes it may hallucinate the output and it may give us wrong notes. So we have to once verify and then we have to give it maximum inputs. If we give less input, we will get slightly lesser outcome as we are expecting. If you maximize the inputs, definitely you will get a better outcome as you are expecting from an attorney. So nowadays we suggest everyone that you can try to file it on your own. That's why we are planning for the workshop. We don't want you to depend on us. You want to have to file for your own students and.
Is it through IPR government website only?
Website only, yes ma'am.
So whether you are taking any particular charge for that one from individual?
No ma'am. We can file. See, I can file my own patent, but I can't file your patent unless I am a registered patent agent. When I file using my digital signature as an individual, if I am not a patent agent, my name will automatically appear in the patent application as an applicant. So if I am filing your patent and I am not part of your research work, definitely you will not like me to be part of your patent. So in that case, we get stuck there. But if it is your own work, you can easily file. But if you want to file for others, either there are 2 ways. I can ask you to come up with your digital signature and help you to file it. Earlier, when I was not patent agent, what I used to do for our faculties, suppose sir has one idea, but I want to file for sir. I know the process, but if I file using my digital signature, my name will appear as first applicant. But where it is not my work, it is sir's work. So I used to take sir's digital signature and file it. Similarly for another faculty. Like that I used to have this many digital signatures. Next time whenever they come, I used to search and I used to file. After I cleared this exam, I don't require any others digital signature because my name will not appear when I start filing. I have the license now to file for others. But whenever you want to file, you can file for your own self, or if you want to file for your colleagues or students where you are not part of the patent, you can get their digital signature and file. So in upcoming workshop, we will show you how to file, how to draft, live demonstration we can show, how to set up the system, everything. So that you can record it and further you can do it on your own. When DSCE we did the same.
So in the brief report, so numbers are there sir, for each point.
Yes, see those are line numbers or paragraph numbers. As per patent act, what we do, every 5 lines we give some number. 5, 10, 15, 20, and they can be page wise or throughout the document. So some give throughout the document, some give page wise, and some give paragraph wise also. Why? The reason why they give line numbers is, suppose if any line is deleted or missed out, then you can easily track if any missing content has happened on the journey. So because of that they give line numbers. But it is not mandatory, some follow that, some do not follow that.
Is it easy to get a digital signature in the court?
Yeah, there are 3 ways, ma'am. See, there are 3 ways. Either you can file offline, you can prepare a document and post it to the patent office by giving a DD or a payment. Second is, you can file through e-file, electronic file process, wherein you can yourself file and you may have a digital signature, or you can use e-Mudra. Using that also, where digital signature, that pen drive is not required, e-Mudra directly you will get OTP and you can file through that. So there are 2 ways, 3 ways actually. Offline, again in online, through e-Mudra or digital signature.
Sir, in the drawings we are giving the numbers to each component. Sir.
Yes.
So after drawing, is it required to explain each number?
No, that number is just, that can be any random number. Suppose my product has 10 sub-components. Say phase 1, and for networking there are 5 sub systems. So I will write 101, 102, 103. This is for network layer. Next, say I have some transportation layer. Transportation layer is 2. Again, it has 3 sub-components, 201, 203. Similarly, how we give subheadings, similar way you can write.
So is it required to explain each?
Yes, you have to explain all the sub-components of the diagram in detailed description of the accompanied drugs. Because if you miss anything, you will get a query from the patent office that this explanation is missing, explain this. Then again you can update the document and resend when you are filing the response to the first examination report. Because in first examination report response, it is not that you are just saying that your work is correct, it is not like this. But sometimes you will also have to update the document and send to the patent office, okay, we are agreeing for your suggestions, we have updated the document, now you verify. So you will also modify the content sometimes. So therein you have to again give it with a marked copy, highlighted copy. This we have added and you verify. Like journal papers, same, similar to that. Reviewer comments you are addressing with highlighted content.
To conclude this session officially, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Piyush, Pareek, for sharing valuable insights and practical guidance on IPR filing and publication. Today's discussion has helped us understand how ideas can be transformed into legally protected assets, ensuring regulation, commercialization, and societal impact. This session has strengthened our awareness of patents, copyrights, and the importance of publishing innovations responsibly. Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful session. Now I would like to invite the head of the department to hand over the memento to the resource person as a token of appreciation.
Thanks for coming.
No, this line,
So we will take one group photo. All of you join for the group photo. Thank you. So all the faculty members please assemble here, 10 minutes.
One budget meeting is there. Please be.